It reminded me so strongly of Shadow of the Colossus. Hey there folks, welcome back to the Dice Odyssey. I'm Kaz, and today I'm going to be bringing to you a game by Pencil First Games called Skulk Hollow. Pencil First Games, as you know, has been the company that's been in charge of games like Herbaceous and Sunset Over Water and all these absolutely typically gorgeous games that have come out. I mean, the artwork on every one of them has been quite amazing. This game goes for 2 players. It's an asymmetric game. It's just literally one side against another. It goes for about 30 minutes, and it's for ages 8 and up. You basically take on the role of either a Foxen clan or a great massive behemoth called a Guardian, and there's 4 different types in the game, to try to destroy each other. The Foxen clan basically has been hearing of legends of these great giant creatures called Guardians that supposedly created the Earth, and they've gone to sleep for a long time, and then they've been like worried that they were going to come back, and now there's murmurings that they've come back, and they have. And so now the Foxen clan has to try to defend their home, defend their castle, defend their king or queen or whoever it is that you decide to use. The other player is going to want to come over and take the place of the Guardian and try to smush all these cute little Foxen. I'm going to show you just a little bit of how it plays. Keep in mind, this is a pre-production copy, but I'll say this, even for a pre-production copy, the quality of the components is pretty much off the charts. I love it. The Foxen player is going to gain their deck of cards and their little wooden Foxen meeples, which, by the way, I think are really cool looking. The Guardian player is going to also be receiving pretty much the same things that the Foxen players are going to receive, except that they're also going to come with a massive Guardian board, depending on which one you choose. Now, for this example, we're going to be using Grog, but even the rulebook kind of suggests that. Now, the Foxen player is going to choose the type of hero that they want to lead into battle. For this instance, we're going to say the King of War, but you have other ones, for example, the Queen of Blessing, you've got Princess of Tactics, and the Prince of Guile, each with their own special ability, such as healing and things of that nature. And then you're also going to have a whole pile of cards that are going to have several different types of actions on them. And the nice thing about it is most of them have 2 to choose from. The Foxen player is going to be able to take up to 3 actions and have a hand of 5 cards. Now, there's several different kinds of actions a Foxen player can take. That can be summon. That can actually be putting a hero on the board. They can use a leap action, which means they can jump from the ground onto the actual Guardian itself to inflict damage. They can use melee, so that can inflict 1 wound to any Guardian location when they're actually on the Guardian. They can use missile, which is basically bow and arrow, okay? So they can actually take shots at the Guardian not being necessarily on him. And they can also take the prepare action. That's discarding 1 card and drawing 2. It's nice to be able to get more cards that way. Now, different kinds of Foxen heroes are going to have different kinds of abilities. Some of them are going to be able to leap directly onto the Guardian themselves. Some of them can fire from a distance. There are archers and things like that. You also have knights. And there's even a sentinel character, which is kind of a mix of a few different things that the other ones can do. Also in the cards, you can actually use the ability of taking power, and you'll take power cubes and you'll accumulate them on your main player board, and at the end of your turn you'll distribute them out to different Foxen heroes that you want to use them on. And what these power cubes allow you to do is just take extra actions, basically, that are represented by the symbols at the top of the card. Now, when it comes to movement, normally you would do that through playing your cards, but at the same time, your power cubes can also be used to do the exact same thing. You normally have a hand limit of 5, but at the end of your turn, you just draw back up to 5 to start your next turn. Also, if your hand limit is already full, you can still draw 1 card, and this is especially useful on the hands that the prepare action was used in. The ultimate goal of the Foxen player is to destroy the Guardian by inflicting as much damage as possible until all their hit points are completely gone. But with the Guardian, it's a bit different. Because there's several different types of Guardians, each Guardian's going to have its own goal. So there's a couple different ways that the Guardian can win. They can either destroy the Foxen leader, or they're going to accomplish one of the goal depending on the Guardian that you choose. The Guardian player is also going to have several different actions they can take. For example, they can use the Gaze ability, which is inflicting 1 wound to any unit on the surrounding ground space. You can use the Swing ability, inflict 1 wound to any unit on Grok's ground space. you can throw, you can stomp, you can actually heal yourself with the mend ability, and you can also do the prepare ability. Now, when the Fox and Heroes actually take the leap onto the Guardian's body to inflict damage, there's several different spots they can go to. There's also different spots that can only hold certain amounts of Foxen, and there's health spots on each spot that they jump to. Now, when Fox and Heroes actually do enough damage to each spot, the Guardian will no longer be able to use the ability associated with that spot. And so as time goes on, some of the Guardian characters' cards are not going to be quite as useful unless they're able to heal themselves quick enough. Now, the Guardian player themselves is also going to have only 2 actions they can take. Now, for example, if Grok takes at least 9 hits on the beginning of his next turn, he's going to get a +1 action. Now, if either side accomplishes their goal, they are the winner of the match. Now, the one thing I really liked about the game personally so far, even in pre-production phase, is the fact that the artwork was so intricate in some ways. It was very nicely laid out. I like the fun artwork of the Fox and Heroes, and I also like the fact that on each card they had the symbol that matched the meeple that was actually going to be on the board. I actually also like the look of the board, by the way. I thought it was well laid out. Each area was finely delineated, and it's got the the dotted lines and all that to show you where to go. But I also like the fact that it's double-sided, right? So if you want to remove the lines and have a little bit more of an immersive experience, that's very nice. And I absolutely fell in love, even at this stage, with the wooden meeples. Oh my gosh, these things were awesome, so intricate. And personally, I'm just saying from my own experience, I haven't seen meeples quite this intricate before, especially with the Guardian meeples. And I like the difference in size. The Foxen look like little pipsqueaks next to the big, massive Guardians. And for example, when it comes to the Guardians themselves, I think you may end up having your own personal favorite. I love the fact they included 4 different ones, and maybe they'll include more with expansions, which would be really cool. But I love the fact, for example, Tonthos, I really liked his meeple, and I loved that it had all these different tentacles, which were roots, right? And that you could pull different Fox and Heroes and things like that. I really like the fact that even with all the amount of stuff that it looks like it's got in the game, it was actually a very simple thing to get into. About 2 or 3 turns in, you're pretty much set. You just have to figure out a strategy at that point. I mean, it's pure strategy, and you're trying to figure out if you should take your archers in, how far away you should keep them. You have to figure out which units you want to summon onto the board at different times. The one thing I do wish they would have done with the character meeples, the Foxen, I wish they would have double-sided those symbols. Maybe they will in the final production. Again, this is pre-production, but I really enjoyed the idea of taking my army against, for example, Grok or whoever, right, and being able to climb him and start fighting him. It reminded me so strongly of Shadow of the Colossus, okay? I love the Shadows of the Colossus, one of the best games ever designed, and it's just because you're crawling up on something and you're inflicting wounds on it in different areas. And the one thing I absolutely loved about this was the fact that when you inflicted enough damage to a certain part of any one of these Guardians' bodies, I love that it shut that part down. So, for example, if you inflict enough damage to this leg, this Guardian can't stomp you anymore, right? That's so thematic. That is so cool. And I was so excited about it. And to be honest with you, this has been, out of all the Pencil First games I've played, this has been the one I've liked the most so far. If you like wonderful, asymmetric, 2-player battle games, basically, strategic battle games, with a unique flair, I would definitely check this one out. Anyway, thank you so much again for watching the Dice Odyssey. This Joker's up on Kickstarter. Go give them some love. And thank you again for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And you have a blessed day, and game away. This video is brought to you by Fallen Dominion Studios. Check out their website at fallendominionstudios.com.